there. I'm inviting you to join me for a self-care wellness routine. Apparently Gunnar is going to help us out as well. He keeps stealing the tennis balls that I'm using. We're going to be doing some myofascial release, so you will need a foam roller. He has moved that over here. Grab that. So you'll need a foam roller and a tennis ball, lacrosse ball, any type of ball that you can use for some myofascial release in the chest area. I ask you to please stay safe by listening to your body and only doing what feels safe for you. A lot of this sort of work that we're going to be doing does get a little bit uncomfortable because you're working on releasing tight muscles, but it should never be painful. So just please be mindful of that. So we're going to go ahead and start in a seated position. Make sure that you have plenty of space where you can do some stretching and different body manipulations as we go through this. We're going to start at the base of our skull, just using the fingertips. You're going to go ahead and roll through the muscles at the base of the skull where the head meets the top of the neck, and these muscles tend to get really tight. Just rolling your fingertips through that, and then go ahead and gently take your fingers down from that area, avoiding the actual neck itself, the spine in any way, but just going to the muscles that are on either side of that and just taking your fingertips and rolling down on either side. And then where the shoulder muscles, these upper shoulders, the trapezoids, meet the lower neck, that's where we carry a lot of tension. You might feel some knots in here. So again, you're just going to take your fingertips and just roll through that a little bit. And then try and take your fingertips kind of back behind you as far as you can on either side of your spine, grabbing that muscle that's there and just pulling forward just a little bit, as long as you're not pulling on your neck. So you're only really kind of rolling the muscle. The neck should not feel any tension in any way. You're not pulling the neck or the spine, just rolling the muscle. And really breathing through it. So if you inhale as you kind of grab the muscle and then exhale as you release it. One more time, inhale. And then exhale, release. Perfect. And then just go ahead and take your right shoulder to right ear, left shoulder to left ear. So we're releasing those same muscles that we just did some massage through. And then roll the shoulders, taking the the head side to side, releasing any tension in the neck. Perfect. All right, we're going to go ahead and grab the ball of choice. Placing it in your right hand, we're going to work the left side of our body. Left arm is going to stay fully relaxed, and you're going to take the ball and just roll through the chest muscles. So you want to be very mindful when you're doing any of this that if you're rolling on bone, you don't want a lot of pressure on your bone. You want to get to the point where you feel the actual muscles, the fascia, and that's more over in the chest towards where you meet the shoulder. So just roll through, and if you feel discomfort there, as long as it's not painful, put a little pressure in there and allow that discomfort to release. We're basically working on a really tight muscle here. And then slowly making that left arm up, you're going to take that ball and roll under the armpit just a little bit. So just kind of go back and forth from the shoulder into the armpit. You might, again, feel some tension here. You're right above breast tissue, so you're not in the breast in any way. Into that armpit a little bit. And then let's go to the other side. So the ball will go on the left hand, the right arm is relaxed. And then again, just start kind of rolling it around, really relaxing through your neck and shoulders. So when we start doing something that's uncomfortable, the rest of our body might tense up. So just really be mindful that the rest of your body's relaxed, breathing through the discomfort. And then just slowly raising that right arm up, and you're going to take that ball and go underneath the armpit and then back to the front. So you're just rolling through right where the connection of the chest muscles go into that shoulder. Back and forth. And then down. Perfect. All right, then just roll those shoulders again. All right, so you're done with this ball for now. Gunnar's happy to have it. Let's go ahead and get to our foam roller. We've done the upper body. We'll do some stretching here in just a bit. Actually, let's go ahead and do that now. So take your foam roller, and we're going to get on this, and this is something you want to be very mindful and careful. We're going to be sitting on the foam roller. So you want to sit at the very end of the foam roller if that feels safe for you. And we're going to lay our body down on the foam roller If you have a ponytail, this is when you would want to remove that because you want to make sure that there's no strain on your neck with anything behind your head. So once you're on here, just making sure that your body is fully centered, your feet are flat, and then just kind of be here for just a bit. Take a nice good inhale and exhale, just relaxing into it. Take your palms to the ceiling, and the front of your hand should be touching the floor. And then you're slowly going to start opening up. So this is where you're going to make sure you need that space. If you need to adjust in any way, but you want to make sure you have the space to open your arms up and not hit any furniture or animals. You just want to open up through the chest by taking those arms open. So we're wanting the arms to be nice and long. The front of our hands are on the floor or at least hovering over. And when you get to a point where you feel a really good stretch through your chest, just allow yourself to stop there and breathe. And then if you feel that you can go a little further, then go a little further. And then this, again, when you start to feel the stretch becomes a little bit too much, then just stop there and breathe. If you feel any tension in your actual shoulders or your neck, that means you've got a really tight muscle that's actually pulling into all of that musculature as well. So just don't feel like you have to go any further. Don't need to push this one. Only do what feels safe for you. Every day might be a little bit different. I promise you, if you do this, it will improve over time. You just have to find what works. So if you're able to go all the way overhead, certainly get yourself there and just enjoy a nice good stretch overhead. And then come all the way back down. And nice and slow as you come back down, feel the stretch through the chest. And once you find that kind of sweet spot where you really feel a nice good stretch, let's just be there again. So let the hands open. Ideally, you want to find it to where you can feel the stretch but have your hands on the floor so that you can really relax into it. So don't feel like you need to go any further with your arms upward towards your head that takes your hands from the floor. I hope that makes sense. So take some nice good breaths here. Just feel the stretch. And then slowly, we always have to be very mindful of coming off of the foam roller when you're coming down. You don't want to roll and tweak yourself in any way. All right, chest stretch is done. So now let's go to some myofascial release of the legs. We are going to sit on the foam roller. So we've got to be very careful because it does roll. It could roll away at any time. So you want to be very mindful of that. So your hands are going to be kind of behind you, holding you up in this position. Your feet are flat. And just sit on the foam roller and just see what that feels like, even holding yourself in that position, if that feels safe for you. And then if you can, you're going to shift the foam roller, let the foam roller start rolling towards the back of your thighs. So it's basically I'm pressing down and I'm allowing the foam roller to roll backward, which means it's reaching. So now I'm going to have it to where the foam roller is literally between the muscles of my glutes here, my butt muscles, and then my hamstring muscles. There's a spot right there, a good friend of mine likes to call that the thut. Where the thighs meet the butt, there's the thut. We want to sit on the thut. This is a connection point that gets very, very tight. They lock up and it decreases flexibility. Definitely causes some issues with our stride and how we walk. And so you just want to sit on the thut and feel that. Feel like right now mine feels really tight. So I'm just going to sit there and allow that the pressure in and of itself to kind of release the tension that's there. And I'm going to breathe through the discomfort. So anytime I'm feeling discomfort, I want to make sure I'm breathing. We tend to hold our breath when we're in pain, so this is where you really focus on breathing, going nice and slow. And now I'm going to just continue to go through the hamstrings. So I'm slowly making my way back, letting the foam roller move its way closer to the back of my knees. So now I'm into the hamstrings, the back of my thighs, just slowly. We never want to go right behind the knees. And now I'm going to go all the way back to the thut, and I'm going to sit there again. And so now go side to side. So as you're in that, just feel and like lean to your right side. Feel if you feel that connection. Like I can feel it going all the way down into my hamstring. It's so tight there. And then shift and go to your left side. Put your body weight into it. So So just feel that release, and now just roll back and forth. Just roll it. And then all the way back again. We don't want to go behind the knees, but just to where we're just about to get there, and then all the way back. All right, perfect. So we did a lot of release then through the hamstrings and the area where we connect to the glutes. Now we want to actually do the glutes. So we're going to set ourselves back up on the foam roller, and now we're going to actually go to where we're going to shift to a side. So we're going to go to the left side, and you're just going to put your weight into your left butt cheek. And you want to go right to where you're meeting up, like towards your lower back, and then to where you're kind of getting to that top of that left thigh. So just roll back and forth. And you may feel some knots here. And when you feel something that's really uncomfortable, again, not a stabbing pain, but more of just, it feels like a tight muscle, you want to just slow down and roll through it slowly. You might start to feel the connections of where that tight muscle goes all the way down your left leg. I mean, this is where you'll really start to feel how everything's connected. So just roll through on the left side, and now let's shift slowly to the right side. So same thing, our body weight's just shifting, and you're rolling on the right. And everything should just be slow. Slow is how you allow the body to release in its own time. We don't force it. It allows for a much deeper release, and it also avoids injury. So slow is better here. Perfect. All right, so we should have some release in the bum of our body. All right, so now we're going to shift to the back. We want to be very mindful of the back that we don't actually roll our lower back. So you want to go ahead and just sit yourself down in front of the foam roller, and then place the foam roller, like, so we've got our lower back that attaches like to our bum, and then our sort of a mid back. We want to go right to where the low back meets the mid back, and shift your hips up, not like lifting them all the way up, but just to where you feel your body weight on the foam roller. And then if it feels safe for you, you're going to put your hands sort of behind your neck to support your head, and you're going to just start to roll to the point where you get to the very top of the shoulders, not into the neck in any way. So we just want to go to the top of the shoulders, and then just to where our mid back starts to meet the low back, but we don't want to actually go to the low back. Just roll back and forth. Do some passes. You might have some cracking and popping here. You're actually releasing some tension and fluid in the spine itself, which is good. A little self-chiropractic. Perfect. Just release that. And that's it. So we've released the back a little bit. Go ahead and put the foam roller aside. We're going to do a little bit of stretching before we hit the front. All right, so go ahead and place yourself on your back. Take your feet long, straight legs, your arms, if you can, overhead, and just pull away, toes and fingers as far away from you can from each other as possible to really open up through the spine. And then take your left leg bent. We're going to take that right leg into a hamstring stretch. So we just released all that on the foam roller. Now we want to stretch through it. So we're going to go ahead and take our hands behind that left thigh. So not behind the knee itself, but behind the thigh, and just pull that right leg towards our body. Only as safe as feels comfortable for you. Stretching should be comfortable. It should be, it should feel like release. It shouldn't feel tight and painful. So just allow your body whatever stretch feels good. Don't ever overstretch. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. And then take your toe towards your body. You're going to feel a stretch into the calf muscle behind the knee. And then now go ahead and bend that leg just a little bit and bring that knee towards your right armpit. So this might go into a little bit more like into your pelvis, possibly your inner thigh, your flexor, your hip. Perfect. So same thing on the other side. Let's go ahead and take that left leg up, hands behind the hamstring, back of the thigh, and we're just allowing the stretch and just breathing through it. Our breath is so important when it comes to stretching. You want to just be very mindful that you're breathing through tension, that you're never holding your breath through tension. Just really releasing. And take that toe towards the body, breathing. And then a slight bend to that knee. Now we're going to bring that left knee into the left shoulder. Perfect. Now bring both knees towards the chest. And if it feels safe for you, you're going to go ahead and take your forehead towards your knees, just rounding through the spine. Perfect. And we're going to get ourselves into an upright position. Almost done. We're going to grab that foam roller again. So we're going to be doing the front of the thighs now. So again, we want to be mindful not to actually roll the knees themselves. You just want to go from like to the very top of the knees to our like pelvis, just about to the waist area when we're working the front of the thighs. So when we first get on here, it's going to be kind of like being in a plank position. So you want to be very mindful that your core is engaged, that we don't have any overarching in the back. So when you first get on here, just kind of see what it feels like to just be in this position with the rest of your body so that you can fully relax through the rest of your body. And then as you feel comfortable and safe in this position, core being engaged, it's not like it's on. You don't necessarily want to be doing a workout. You want to be able to relax through this, but you want to make sure that your lower back is supported. And we're just going to roll all the way to where, like I said, we're just getting almost to the very top of the knees. And then all the way back, we roll to where we get to like the pelvis and the hip flexors. So just back and forth. Now we're going to shift. So what you do is you shift your body weight. So I'm going to shift to my left. When I shift over, now I'm going to put a lot more pressure into my left leg. My right leg is going to go to a slight bend. That's going to get my inner thigh of my right leg. And my left leg is getting the quadricep, the front of the thigh. It's got a lot of weight on there, so this can tend to be very uncomfortable. So, and then just shift to your side. Now, when we're working the side of the leg, we're actually working the IT band, which is something that can get very, very tight. That's the band that actually connects your lower body to your upper body. So if you struggle to have all of your body weight on there, just make adjustments accordingly. And if it just gets to be too much with the foam roller, come off the foam roller and just use your hands and just massage through there with your hands. You can always stop doing the foam rolling and use your hands. Self-manipulation with your hands is wonderful. So now I'm going to shift to the right side, same thing. So I've got most of my body weight on my right side. My left leg is bent so that I can get a little bit of the inner thigh on my left leg. Just relaxing through the shoulders. Remember, we're being held up, but we just want to really relax through the rest of our body. We want to be breathing the whole time. Nice, good, deep breathing. Of course, I know you're breathing, but being focused and mindful of good, deep breathing. Perfect. All right, so foam roller is done. We're going to get ourselves into a child's pose stretch. So now we're going to, if you're feeling safe with this, you're going to drop yourself back. Let your arms either, they can go forward, or if it's uncomfortable for you to be overhead, you can go back behind. I think I'm actually going to do that right now. And then just drop down and really relax into the stretch. Nice deep breaths here. One more deep breath in. And exhale. And then slowly making our way up. And you did it. So this is a very good routine to incorporate into your overall wellness program. When you do any type of myofascial release, drink a ton of water. You just basically took a lot of toxins that were trapped in your fascia and in your muscles that were creating some of those tight muscles, and now that those toxins are circulating throughout your body. So you need to get fluid in order to be able to urinate them out. So please make sure that you hydrate well, and that's basically it for some self-care. So I hope you really enjoyed this time with your body, and I invite you to just go out into this day and shine your light and spread your love and share your smile with the world. See you next time. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.